Hey there, my name is Brent Wolf and this is my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before and welcome if you haven't. Today I am going to be going through the top 10 albums that I am looking forward to that are being released this month. For those of you that saw April's video, at the beginning of each month I go through 10 albums that are going to be released each month. So for today's video, I am going through the top 10 albums that I'm looking forward to that are being released in the month of May. But before we get into that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. What albums are you looking forward to this month? With that being said, let's get into it. As you may know, albums typically get released on Fridays, and the first Friday of the month is May 4th. So the first band that I'm going to be talking about today with an upcoming release is the band Belly and their upcoming album, Dove. In case you haven't heard of the band Belly before, they're actually an alt-rock band that rose to fame in the 90s, and they're releasing their first studio album for the first time in 23 years, and they'll actually be going on tour later this year for the first time in 25 years. What's interesting about this upcoming album is that it was primarily built over an exchange of emails between the band members, but that collaboration led to the creation of their lead single, Shiny One. Since it's been over 2 decades since they released any music, the last time we heard from them was in 1995 and their album King, but you might recognize their Grammy-nominated debut album, Star, which was released in 1993. Overall, I'm happy that they're making a return and I can't wait to hear the rest of this album. Definitely different from Belly's alt-rock sound, Dada Life is actually one of the earlier members of the EDM movement and certainly one of the first electronic bands that I ever listened to. Dada Life is an electronic music duo comprised of 2 Swedish DJs, Ali Cornier and Stefan Engblom. A few years ago, Ali Cornier did take a break from the band due to his battle with cancer, and late last year he said he would take another break due to some other health concerns. But thankfully, he seems to be doing better, at least I hope he is, and I'm really excited for the new music that is going to be out this week. If you want a sample of the upcoming album, you can listen to their lead single, We Want Your Soul, or their second single, Higher Than the Sun. Another duo releasing this week is Matt and Kim with their 6th album, Almost Every Day. In 2017, Kim suffered an ACL injury, and the duo actually had to cancel their tour for their album New Blow. But in January of this year, they revealed that during their time off, they actually wrote a whole new album. And so I'm very excited to see what this album is going to be since I really enjoyed their last album. Matt and Kim is one of those bands that I always like coming back to because their hit song Daylight was one of the first songs that I ever learned how to play on piano, so I'm really excited to this new album, and in case you wanted to listen to a few different songs before this Friday, they currently have 4 singles out. Kicking off the next week of releases on May 11th is the band Arctic Monkeys and their album Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. This is the indie rock band's 6th studio album, and it is being released through the Domino Recording Company. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino was predominantly written by lead vocalist Alex Ford, and the entire album was actually predominantly produced by frequent collaborator James Ford. Interestingly enough, the album is not going to have any singles that are released beforehand, so I'm pretty curious to see what this album is going to sound like, but you can also catch them on tour this summer. Also releasing on May 11th is Charlie Puth and his album Voice Notes. Something that I learned recently was that Charlie Puth was actually a YouTuber first, before becoming a pop star, and Voice Notes is going to be his 2nd album. While his debut album 9-Track Mind didn't really perform as well as initially planned, he definitely has skyrocketed his career in the last few years. Charlie Puth stated that this album will differ lyrically from his debut album by avoiding some of those love songs, but you can listen to his first 4 singles, which are Attention, Done For Me, How Long, and Change. Since I was a person that didn't really care too much for 9-Track Mind, but I absolutely love Attention, I'm very excited for this next album. The 3rd release day of May is May 18th, and one of the albums coming out that week is Electric Light by James Bay. Electric Light is also James Bay's 2nd album, and it's been 3 years since his Grammy-nominated debut album, Chaos and the Calm. The lead singles for this album include Wild Love, Pink Lemonade, and Us. In an interview with HuffPost, James Bay talked about the importance of the recent Me Too movement and how he hired an all-female band, backup singers, and a female production manager for his tour. So I'm really glad to see someone like James Bay that is speaking up about such an important topic, so I really look forward to supporting this artist's new album. Another artist releasing their second album 3 years after their debut album is Courtney Barnett and her sophomore album, Tell Me How You Really Feel. Courtney Barnett is an Australian indie rock artist whose debut album, Sometimes I Sit and Think, Sometimes I Just Sit, was very highly praised. While her debut album was very introspective and looked in on her own life, Tell Me How You Really Feel is an album that is entirely about the people and the world around her. The lead single, Nameless, Faceless, is a commentary song about internet trolls and the anonymous comments that go around on the internet. So if you want to listen to that song, you can, but otherwise her album comes out May 18th, or you can catch her in a series of intimate shows this summer. The last set of releases is on May 25th, and the first band to release that weekend is CHVRCHES with their album Love Is Dead. Love Is Dead is this Scottish trio's third studio album, and it will feature 13 new songs. This album is mainly produced by Greg Kurstin, and it's actually their first non-independently produced album, and it also features collaborations like David Stewart from Eurythmics and Matt Berninger from The National. To announce this album, they actually wiped out the entirety of their social media accounts, but since the announcement, they have released 4 singles: Get Out, My Enemy, Never Say Die, and Miracle. I've loved the song Get Out since it's been released, so I really look forward to this upcoming album from CHVRCHES. Also releasing on May 25th is J Balvin with his album Vibras. Marking his 7th studio album, Vibras will be coming out from the reggaeton Colombian singer after a truly explosive year. In the last year, J Balvin's career truly skyrocketed with songs like Mi Gente, which featured Beyoncé, and his collaboration with Luis Fonsi on Despacito. While he recently collaborated with Cardi B and Bad Bunny on the song I Like It, the singles for his own album include Machica and Ahora. Considering the truly incredible year that J Balvin has had, I'm sure that this upcoming album is going to be nothing short of fantastic. Closing out the month of May is Shawn Mendes with his self-titled album, Shawn Mendes. This upcoming self-titled album marks the 3rd studio album for the Canadian singer-songwriter. As a way to announce the album, he hosted a 9-hour live stream on YouTube, and after the album comes out, he will spend a week on The Late Late Show with James Corden starting on June 4th. Giving us a little teaser for the album are his lead singles, In My Blood and Lost in Japan. Shawn Mendes is another person whose career has been going up since it first began, so I'm sure that the album is going to be just as great as what he's been releasing, and it's going to be a nice way to close out the month of May. With all that being said, those are the 10 albums coming out this month that I am really looking forward to. If you're also excited for any of these albums, or if there are some other albums that are coming out this month that you're looking forward to, let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @TheBrentWolf, or you can catch up on some previous album reviews and articles that I've written at wanderingwolf.com. Until then, I will see you all next time.